Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormy B Man, and I am back. Welcoming you to Stormy B Man Live. Boxing, Brain, and Brawn. Number 24 in the series of Stormy B Man Lives for this Thursday, June 20th, 2024. After taking a little bit of a break away from the live airwaves, I am here to have a boxing conversation regarding brain and brawn in the sport and maybe a few other topics to slide in under the umbrella of so much that can be discussed when it comes to the topics of boxing. I want to say good evening to everybody out there, those who have decided to come in and check me out. The channel has done some growth in this time that I've taken off of the airwaves and had invested more into short videos. And the videos have been doing very well. For those of you who have checked the videos out, commented on them, whether positive or negative, and decided to give them a thumbs up, I appreciate the support. There's always something to talk about when it comes down to the beloved sport of boxing. And when we are out here, there are particular names and subjects that primarily dominate the airwaves, but we have to learn how to spread the love, so to speak, because there is so much to cover with the sport. There are so many personalities to talk about, and I do my best to attack matters from that vantage point. So here we are again with that in mind. Yeah. So as everybody decides to come on in, filing in, I didn't put the reminder out that there would be a live this evening until about an hour ago, because I had matters to tend to prior before setting it up. Plus, I found out once I logged on to my app here to do my live stream, there was something wrong where I ended up having to refresh my account. So it took a few minutes extra. Otherwise, you guys could have had a notification about tonight's live a little earlier. But it wasn't a case of me just being forgetful or anything like that. It was just that matters pressing brought me to that point. But here we are, all the same. We are here to talk a little bit of boxing this evening. I see Mr. Shelton out there. What's going on with you, Mr. Shelton, man? You've been cooking up on your channel there. A couple of your live streams. I had a chance to really sink my teeth into that and appreciate what you have to offer, man. Sometimes I can't be in that chat live when you're on late because you on the replay for some of them late night joints that you do, but you still be cooking, brother. You still be cooking. J. Wayne Citizen, what's good with you? Good evening to you as well. Yeah. Hmm. You see, some people, Mr. Shelton, they get a little jealous, especially when you can command an audience and you have presence and you can, hold fort, so to speak. Everybody can't do that, though people try and though people be on for hours and hours. It's not an easy thing, not easy at all. But I like to see the brothers out there doing what they do, offering up the content that they have. So, but yeah, that's what's up. For whatever, my camera froze up. Don't know why. For whatever reason, I was just about to put it up, and I see the doggone thing is locked up. I don't know what that's all about. Let's see here. Forgive me, you guys, taking a moment out to see if I could fix my camera. Yeah. Now that's awfully funny. It's like it was working before I went live, so I might have to do the show without my camera being on, you guys. Sorry about that. Won't be able to see the handsome face of the storm this evening, but hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Don't want nobody passing out, falling faint, huh? Because some have it and some ain't. Yeah. Still with the bars. Yeah, I don't know what's with that though. Don't know what's with it. Let's see here. I'm gonna try to refresh this page. Bear with me just in case something goes a little goofy. Let's see here. Mhm. There we go. Sorry about that, you guys. Had to put a little boogie woogie back on. Yeah, but that the camera action is acting up on me this evening, so we're not gonna be able to have that for whatever reason. Let's see here. Kondo, I see you out there, bro. Good to see you. What's good with you? D21519, what's happening? Michael Ray II, what's happening with you? Appreciate you guys coming into the building. Hit that like button on your way in. Mahari Nation Sports Podcast, what's good? Learn is back. He's gonna show us what he's learned. Yeah. Yeah, I was still trying to fix that, but I guess, yeah, Mahari Nation. I was feeling a certain kind of way, but I had a chance to talk with some people behind the scenes, and you know, found a way to refocus. And one of those ways was coming out of last week's events. Instead of doing live post fight, I did a couple of video post fights, and that turned out to be fairly successful. So a new wrinkle of something that I can do, an alternative, And some of those videos, the Gary Anton, the Tank Davis versus Frank, Benavidez, I even slipped in a Loon Coon and buffoonery out there. So those videos this week were quite successful. The only thing I would ask is, like, for some of you who have checked them out, when you can, share them. Share them to the other social media sites and everything. Because all of you don't have the same vines, that extend whatever communities that you find yourself a part of. It's good to know that you have options to do something like sharing, because some of your audience may not be some of my audience, and some of my audience may not be some of another's audience, but they get out there and they still find that they like the subjects and like the coverage. So that's why it's important to share. Yeah. Shower's in the building. What's happening with you, Shower? Good to see you out there. Grand evening and many blessings to you as well. B-Mac is in the building also. What's happening, B-Mac? So yeah, tonight's subject of Brain and Brawn, it made me think about some of the things that we saw from last week, fight cards. And what I'm noticing more and more is there are so many fighters who are incomplete works of art. These guys, they may have certain areas that they stand out or can be rated very well in, but then other aspects of what they do need a lot of work. And I'm finding that some of these trainers, they are not investing totally in these fighters, and the fighters are being led to believe that they are better than what they are. One of the examples of that was the Gary Anton fight against Alberto Puello, also Tank Davis versus Frank Martin. Though Frank Martin is a fighter that has been progressing, Tank Davis was not lying when he told him in the press buildup that he should have waited. He wasn't yet ready. I would agree with that. And One of the Achilles of fighters of today is the inactivity. Man, there's too many guys just sitting around. These guys need to get busy, man. They need to find a way to fight and stop sitting around. You know, we're seeing that so much. And the trainers, they're just there for a buck. Seriously. When you tell a guy from the corner, you're doing good, just keep doing what you're doing, or you got to go get him, and stuff like that, and no real details. It lets me know how shallow either his boxing acumen is or how he's just going through the motions. Either way, it's a dangerous thing. So when I talk about brain and brawn, the fighters who are multifaceted, they can incorporate ring IQ and the brains of what they do, being able to make adjustments on the fly, listening to their corners, implementing game plans, following game plans, discarding a plan that's not working and go another route. Those nuances are important for a fighter to grow, and you cannot grow when you're not active. You can't. Yeah, Michael Ray, I feel the same about that as well, but you know what? Let me tell you something, man. There's a reason why people watch the Kardashians. You know what I'm saying? People love train wrecks, bro. They do. No matter how much you try to tell them about the good word, man, they rather look at some boobs. You know what I mean? And I don't mean the physical kind of boobs on your chest, but boobs, numbskulls. Yeah. You see how I switched that up there? Yeah. Most definitely. So yeah. So, you know, Brawn, like if you notice, you hear a lot of guys talking today. I'm getting my words chopped up, especially in the press buildups and when they do those media camp coverage videos where they're showing someone in their training camp and all of that. One of the things I've noticed that these men have kind of forsaken having any class or dignity, a lot of profanity, a lot of foul mouth and vulgarity coming to the point of it's just hard to watch sometimes, especially for someone like myself who's a little bit older. You know, class is everything when it comes to me. And that doesn't mean just your personality traits and characteristics, but how you handle yourself in dealing with others. You know, you don't have to love everyone with the mindset you may have, but you can show respect for yourself and carry yourself a certain type of way where people will respect you. And now it seems that the lines have been blurred or even erased when it comes to having some type of ethics. And that's kind of tough, but at the same time, it explains why some of these fighters perform the way they do. I bet the Russells didn't think that Gary Anton was going to have that type of trouble with Puello. But why not? You've been off for an extended period of time, and even in your last few matches, you've had assistance from referees to help you extend a stoppage streak. So think about it. And then to be very dismissive of What's evident by saying, oh, yeah, we back in the gym, we're going to do this. Man, you guys were supposed to be in the gym before that fight, but you weren't ready for that opponent, though. But you had plenty to say about other fighters and other personalities. And that's all fine. You talk your talk. But I want to see the results in the ring, man. And you don't have to knock a fighter out to win a fight. But you do have to know how to fight and put together tactics, game plans, and implement activity that can sway judges to consider giving you rounds. Coming in there with your outlandish outfits with the fur on it and rabbit hair and all of that foolishness, and your hair is all over your head and everything, looking like you ain't seen a barber since you've been born. Hey, whatever. Because it's not what's on the outside when it comes down to the sweet sciences. It's what's on the inside. And just because you don't have a designer that can put together a decent outfit for you, so you're looking terrible on the outside, when you have these shit performances, we get a chance to see that you ain't got much going on the inside either. How about that? Yeah. Rich Richardson, what's good with you? I see you out there. J. Wayne Citizen is asking, how often do you think they should be fighting? Champions should be fighting at least 3 times a year in Stormybman's mind. That's still not enough for me, but it's fair. Contenders should be fighting at least 3 to 4 times a year and one another throughout that process. Number 8 should be fighting number 5. Number 2 should be fighting number 7, and so forth and so on. Mixing it up. Because some of these guys are just holding spaces. And even when they do get title shots, they stink. You see, when fighters in past generations had to fight to earn a living, to take care of their families, they really had to do just that. Some of these guys, with some of the contracts they have, they're paid very well. And then there are others still who are not paid as well, and they have to get regular jobs in between the fights that they take. And that's unfortunate, because some of those guys could really put forth an earnest effort. Do you remember them talking about the guy that Shushu Anderson just fought? What's his name? Shushu fought that guy a couple weeks ago, and they say the guy had been off over a year or so, but he was extending Shushu rounds, and then they stopped the fight in like the 8th or 9th round because they were only going 10. So they wanted to keep him looking, dominant or whatever. But that guy wasn't nowhere near being KO'd. Politics. And it's unfortunate that it happens that way, but it is the truth. And if some of you had proper mean of complaining and used that influence in the proper way, it could happen. You could turn this sentiment around and get people on board. But some of you are afraid to do that, and you don't have that same fervor unless it's a fighter that you like. But how often have I stated that you should get out there and watch the sport. The more boxing you watch, the more you learn about the sport, even if it's people that you don't know who they are. The whole point of it is to kind of fortify yourself, that you understand what you're looking at. Then you can see the BS. If you go back and listen to my breakdown video of Tank Davis defending against Frank Martin, you will find that I did not tell any lies in that video. And for those who think that Tank is like some real superior guy, if he were, he would have faced some of that quality opposition that he has not yet faced. Frank Martin had a big step up when he took on Michel Rivera. Two young hopefuls, going up the ladder, and they had a crossroads fight where they fought one another. Frank prevailed. Rivera was found to have tested positive. So he ended up being suspended and everything, but his talent was evident. Now just think of how he took himself out of the sport by testing positive, as other fighters who we heard about recently. But what I'm trying to get at here is facing quality opposition is steel sharpening steel. And sometimes you may find some weakness in someone's metal. And so if they go back to the drawing board, they're able to become better by shoring up the areas where they were weak. But if you're never tested, if you're never put to a point of understanding what you have, what you're working with, then how can you assess where you are? I'm not going to give you credit for being great when you have yet to do great things. Beating up on opponents that on paper it was devised that you should win this one, hands down. When's the last time you took a fight where someone says, I don't know if he's got a chance tonight? This is a huge mountain for him to climb. When's the last time someone said that about a Tank Davis fight, where you saw the opponent as someone as a legitimate threat to what Tank has to offer? Terrell Gausha fought Thomas Adames and could have won that fight had he just gotten started a little bit earlier than he did. But that was a situation where a guy was brought in as an opponent and he fought like one the first 4 rounds or so. But then something awakened in Gausha, and he began to battle more earnestly. And that fight got closer. And Adames, who was trying to be a bully and press matters early, found himself in a situation where there was resistance. He may have that WBC title right now, but it's on loan. He's a very limited guy. Chilltown Major says Martin did box Tank well when he was in the middle and center of the ring until he was on the ropes. Well, he didn't do very well there, Chilltown. And what's unfortunate is Tank didn't even force him to the ropes. He was retreating to the ropes on his own accord. And there were dialogue overheard over the mics where Derrick James was telling him to get back to the center of the ring. He didn't do well. He did not do well. And I'll tell you something. The fight between Liam Pero, and Subriel Matias, Liam Pero fought Matias the way that Frank should have fought Tank. He was in Matias's face. He was peppering him with shots up, down, side, and around. And he pushed him back, put him on the back foot, physically put him on the back foot, because Subriel kept trying to walk forward. And I remember saying distinctly as we were watching this fight, myself and a few of the members of the community, I said, if Subriel continues to encounter these difficulties from Pero like this, and we were going into like the third round, I said, he's not going to be able to get into a rhythm, and Pero is taking the play away from him. It's going to get really frustrating for him because Subriel can't box. And that's exactly what happened. Then it became a story of, is Pero in enough condition to go the distance of 12? Because he had not gone beyond, I think they said, 7 or 8 rounds in his career. Now, he had trained with Devin Haney, been a sparring partner to Devin Haney, but in a fight under the lights for a world title, you could sometimes see where a fighter, his conditioning can get drained by the moment. It's not so much the activity, but the adrenaline rush and everything of what you're facing. It can kind of take away. And Pero boxed wonderfully. I loved his efforts because he fought like someone that wanted it. If you go back and watch that fight, when the bell rang for the first round, he met Subriel in the middle of the ring, hit him with a couple of shots and shouldered him off and pushed him backwards. I was like, boom, there it is. Now, if you remember Subriel's fight before that, he fought that guy who was a knockout puncher. What was that guy's name? Let me look it up real quick. Trying to get back to his career, who he fought. That Shoyahan Ergashev. Now, that guy came out in the first couple of rounds against Subriel, and you could see he was heavy-handed. He could punch. Ergashev was a good fighter, but guess what? He was a lot like Subriel. So, having stopped a lot of guys, being from Uzbekistan, and he was a southpaw also, he burned himself out after like 4 rounds, and Subriel took him out in 6. Because once that guy got tired, he had nothing else to fall back on. His power punches were not the same. He burned himself out. He probably burned that energy up too, being in the pressure of a world title fight. And 21 knockouts in 24 fights was not necessarily a good thing. This is why I talk about a guy learning how to box, learning how to fight, learning how to go rounds, as opposed to just putting everybody out. Because sometimes putting guys out doesn't teach you much. But in fights where you go rounds, you get the feeling a certain kind of way. You feel a little fatigue. You might hurt something. Something, may go wrong with your vision. Different things where you have to adjust and still prevail. Subriel admitted to being humiliated because he couldn't box with Pero. But I knew it was going to be a matter of time because he had already lost the decision earlier in his career. I think that was on the undercard of Deontay against King Kong Ortiz when he lost before. Now he came back and rematched that guy and stopped the guy, but the blueprint was out about him, and it's still out about him. Liam Perro, do you know how much confidence he gains from defeating Subriel? But he used all brains through that process. Yes, he let his hands go. Yes, he fought, but he fought intelligently. Outclassed the guy, really. Mahari says, I felt that in the Martin versus Tank, experience played a major role. More than experience, because though Tank has certain types of experience, Martin resorted to being a familiar type fighter that Tank is accustomed to beating up on. That was different. Imagine if Frank had boxed him, turned him, pushed him back like I talked about, tied him up, frustrate him a little bit, bang him on the clinch, shove him off of him, and stand in the center of the ring and say, come on, let's go, sucker. That would have been different. But see, he didn't do those things. And guess what? Once he started giving ground to Tank and Tank realized, you know what? This guy might be a little intimidated. Let me go get him. Game over. Yeah, Michael Ray, Pero, and he embarrassed Montana Love, that was the fight that made me say, you know what? Subriel might be in trouble because Subriel is like Montana Love mentally. And the difference between he and Love will do something to get himself disqualified and things of that nature, but Subriel didn't know how to make an adjustment. And he lost that fight. He couldn't box. He couldn't make adjustments and turn things around to a point of going in his favor. If anything, he tried to walk the guy down more, running into more shots, and not even punching behind, stepping forward, just kind of high guarding it, coming in. And how many times have you seen guys in this high guard trying to walk someone down? Do you know there's another way to apply pressure without the high guard and walking a guy down? You do it with footwork. Yeah. But see, if it's not being taught, then you don't know. Huh? Small steps that cut a person down and limit their options of their steps. There are drills that you can work on to conduct that to put yourself in a better position. Salute to my brother Drew Titan, LLC, out there in the super chat. He says, salute to the sensei. What's good with you, Drew? Thank you so much, man, for that. Putting some color in the chat. Yeah. Shawa says, when he said I was trying to see something on the ropes, I was like, facepalm. Listen, Shawa, you know what he was trying to see on the ropes? And Tank showed it to him. Stars. Yeah, that's what he saw on the ropes. Huh? And I think forevermore, he'll know what it's like on the ropes, huh? Stars, huh? Blinded by the light. Yep. Tank gave him right to him. I should have listened to my corner. How many fighters have said that recently? We've heard about 8 fighters who've taken a L say that. I said, what are you doing? If you ain't gonna listen to the damn trainer, what the hell are you doing? Seriously. It's that kind of foolishness that make me just say, you know what, these guys are, and it's the trainer too, because he got to be not listening in the gym, huh? Move, circle him, tie him up. No, he ain't doing nothing you saying. Well, why are you still with him? Foolishness, man. I see a lot of stuff that I just kind of question, man. And I'm like, you know what? It is what it is with these cats of today, man. But that's why I'm so highly critical of them, because I recognize it. I recognize it. Shower says, stay out the triangle. You damn right. Michael Ray says, getting trapped in the corners was Frank's downfall. He should have tried to clinch more to get off the ropes. Well, see, let me tell you something about clinching. Clinching is not necessarily a good thing, but it can be used as a tactic to just slow momentum and then position yourself to do other things. If you're clinching because you're tired, you don't have any other options, and you're looking for the ref to come and separate and break you and stuff like that, that doesn't do anything but put more mental stress on you, because you're looking for the right opportunity to do so. But see, you could fire a shot at a guy, boom, and fall into him, bump him, turn him, and get back out to where you want to be without clinching. It's like I said before, if guys are not being taught, they don't know. And when the moment presents itself, they can't adjust because it hasn't been breached. It hasn't been brought to mind. This is what you do under these circumstances. Do you realize that when someone is close to you, it makes you feel uncomfortable? But guess what? What you feel is what they feel too. It's just how one deals with it, which makes the difference. You have to be able to deal with what's in front of you. And it's just like playing the game of poker. You're not going to give an ugly face because you got a bad hand, right? You're giving away things. You have a bad hand, you might smile and say, I got y'all asses now, huh? Right? Which is why some goofballs smile when they get a good shot to the chin. Bang, they smile and grin at you. All that do is tell you that you got them. But see, I don't need you to smile at me, because when you smile like that, you're going to catch a couple more. There's a lot of comments in the chat. Don't if I haven't read one of your comments yet, don't think I'm skipping you. I'm just trying to pick out something that goes with the talking points that I'm saying. Tony G says, Stormy, when a fighter pops dirty, do you think that the trainers should also be disciplined? Well, there is a certain amount of accountability that should be taken from the camp of the fighter that popped dirty. Now, when you have a camp where several fighters in that camp have popped dirty, then I definitely feel that a trainer should be disciplined. All we need to do is look no further than Eddie Reynoso's camp. With all the guys that he's had pop dirty, he has a basketball team of a starting five, huh? If I had it, I'd play that juice meme right now that Drew likes to play. Sip the juice. Yeah, that's them, the juice crew, huh? Yeah, everybody on the team is juiced up. And guess who was there? Ryan, huh? Wasn't Ryan a part of Reynoso's crew too? Yeah. No, Tony G, I'm still here because I'm listening to my playback on one of my devices. That's why I keep my earpiece in. But I'm still here. It's something that happens though, and there needs to be penalties, man. And if you did penalize people, then it wouldn't happen so much. But that's where it's all jacked up. At some point, like I hear, and I don't want to even have a big conversation about it. Believe me, I hear they're saying that Ryan Garcia got suspended for a year, right? Should have been 2 years. Easy. You know why 2 years? Because of all the lies that he's told, all the people that he tried to bring in and say that they had something to do with this, the accusations, the the fact that he was being disingenuous overall. You got to pay, man. You got to pay for that. Then the insults to people and their companies, their brands, the insults to people and their wives and their families. No, man, somebody should make an example of him and be like, you know what, man? You were more than a fool, huh? Listen, when he wrote that on Twitter that I'm retired, I'm officially retired or whatever, I wrote him a special message. I wouldn't be surprised if he blocked me after my message, because I wasn't mucking around when I left him my message. You know? And I said it, and I'm proud of what I said to him, huh? Because what my message to him was, he's like, I'm retiring. And I was like, you bet your cheating ass you are. Tired or retired. What the fuck is the difference? Go sit the fuck down somewhere and contemplate the meaning of fuckery. That's what I told him with my message. Yeah. Sure did. And I don't say that boasting. I don't say that because, oh, you just don't like the guy. No, I say that because that's how, if it's him, Conor Ben, Tyson Fury, the guys in the Reynoso camp, I feel the same way about all of them. The freaking cheaters, man. I have the vitriol for all of them. They could all get a taste of the boot right in their ass. Because you know what? There are fighters out here trying to do it the right way, and some of them don't even get the opportunities because the clutter of these guys being in the way. Canelo is getting ready to fight a guy that they say is the number one for IBF or whatever. I'm like, what about the guy who was number one for the WBC and the WBA? Huh? The last I checked, I think their names were Morrell and Benavidez, if not Mbili, right? So what the hell? Yeah, it's like Conor Ben. I've been on his neck ever since he popped dirty, and he didn't even get the chance to fight. Uh, uh, what's his name? Eubank Jr. He didn't even get a chance to fight him, but I was on his neck because I was like, dude, he talked about he had those eggs. No, man, you ain't had no damn eggs. You had steroids in your system. And so glad that the BBBFC blocked him and he can't fight over there. He cannot fight. It's really been a real piece of work dealing with these guys, man. I don't know. These cheaters in the sport. And they do damage when they come out and do stuff, you know? Damage is done. But as I was talking about earlier, talking about these fighters and the subject of brain and brawn, fighters who have faceted games, they typically lean toward the area of having brains, the ring IQ. The brawn happens to be guys who are thinking that they could just get somebody out of there with strength or power. And going back to the fight between Chris Billum Smith and Richard Riaport from last Saturday, that was a fight where Riaport thought that he was being bigger and stronger than CBS, that, once he hit him with his power or whatever, that's going to be the end of things. But I was like, you know what? CBS has been in the better fights since they last fought each other. And CBS used that experience to deal with this guy and take all of his strengths away from him, to the point that all he did was pretty much clinch and get close and clinch and get close and clinch some more. Hardly got any shots off. He looked like Lawrence Okolie more than Okolie did. Riakporhe really sucked in that fight, man. But you know what? Again, I give it up for guys like CBS because he's fought hard. He's got a good trainer in Shane McGuigan, and they had a game plan. He follows his game plans, and he's a workaholic. He works hard. Someone said that he was an overachiever. I'm like, I don't know that I would call Billum Smith an overachiever, because he works and gets the efforts out of his work rates. He isn't giving anything. He's not sliding by. He's beating quality fighters, guys who might even have a little more talent, guys who definitely have more athleticism, but they don't have more in the gas tank, and they don't have more in the workman-like attitude toward their craft and the competitive nature and spirit. Yeah. Yeah, Tony G, he has improved a lot. And I'm going to tell you something. I like guys that work like that. I like it. And he's been fighting frequently. And the more frequent you fight, the more your timing sets in, the more comfortable you get in your competitive matches, and the more you're able to execute. These guys who go away, even after having a fight that only went a few rounds, they go away and they sit up for 8-9 months, and then they try to come back, or they come back a next year or whatever. Man, later for those dudes. Later for them. But it makes a huge difference when these guys are out there and they're getting it done. Michael Ray is asking, Stormy, do you think that Benavidez should stay at 175? Nope. He should take his ass back down to 168 because he's not a 175 pounder yet. And I tried to say that before he moved up. He done made Canelo get brave. Canelo will probably try to challenge him at 175. Well, Tony G, Don Charles gets credit on my channel. I even did a video about Don Charles and his work with Danny Dubois a couple of months ago. That video is right up on my facing page under videos. I talked about it because he brought another trainer in to help him with Dubois, which shows that the ego is not involved there. He just wants to do the best he can with Daniel. Okondo hadn't posted in a while, but he wrote, "That's right." What you saying? That's right about Okondo. I've been talking about a lot of different things. No. It's not about the lives, Tony G. You go back and watch my videos, bro. Watch the videos. I put pretty decent content out there, man. That's what you have to watch. You have to look at the videos to catch it. The lives are nice because that's where we can interact and everything. But catch my videos, man. And share the doggone videos because there's a lot of the stuff, a lot of good work goes into that. You know, a lot of good work goes in. And there's Shelton out there. Swine, my brother. Bean pies. Huh? Final call. Yeah. I told you, G, I know that you're a good brother. Hey, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Huh? Don't call me good, because I got a little naughty in me. You understand? It's like I can cuss one out and take a cussing out. You know what I mean? I'm just a dude, huh? But I give good quality trainers credit where it's due. And out of the UK, Don Charles and Shane McGuigan are doing some really good stuff. That dude, Ben Davison, is an opportunist, and he's had the fortunate advantage of being around some guys who have already been established, and he's done some work with them and has some success off of that. But I'm like, okay, that Freddie Roach did that a lot here in America. But Shane and Don are doing some good stuff over there. Well, Shawa, I know you like Andre, but I'm going to tell you something. His inactivity more than David Benavidez was his Achilles going into the Benavidez fight. You cannot be sitting on the shelf 12 to 18 months, coming back at the top of the division and trying to think you're going to compete with somebody who coming in there to take your head off. It ain't gonna work. And Shaw says Stormy is fair in his assessment. No, I don't do fair. Shaw, you might interpret it that way and see that there. I don't do fair. I do facts. I do facts, and I can substantiate my position with information that support what I say. Has nothing to do with being fair. There is no such thing as fair play out here. You've seen that in the past couple of months with some of these major fights, including the Haney-Garcia fight. You've seen lack of fair play. Yeah, there's a total lack. You can see all these idiots out here with channels doing what they do. Is that fair? But they do it, don't they? Yeah, I'm always going to give it on the up and up. And I've said it, early in my inception of my channel, I said, hey, I say things that are not necessarily popular, or it'll be sentiment that people don't like or support. But guess what? Don't give a damn, because that's what is going to come out of these lips right here. You understand? I'm going to say it, and I keep it moving. And I ain't got to dwell on something for hours and do a 2-hour stream dwelling on some foolishness. I'll call out the foolishness and then keep it moving. I keep saying, when you wipe your butt, do you be wondering where the toilet paper going, or do you flush right away? Michael Ray is asking, who do I think is the best trainer that I've seen in boxing? Michael loves Georgie Ben Angelo and Emmanuel Stewart. There's so many good ones, man. So many good ones. I think that Eddie Futch is someone that I definitely think about very highly, because when you take a fighter who is athletically gifted as Muhammad Ali and who could move, had charisma, charm, and the adulation of people and fanfare, and you could put 4 different fighters in there to give him a defeat, and all of the 4 fighters that you put in against him defeated Ali, and they were not fighters of the same style. Think about that for a moment. Eddie Futch trained 4 fighters who beat Muhammad Ali, and none of them fought the same way. Frazier, Norton, Spinks, Holmes. You see? Most people don't think about that. Most people don't think about that. One of the great boxing minds, I think, is Teddy Atlas, though. I don't care for him, his personality, but he's a very smart boxing sage. He knows, and he learned from one of the best also in Cus D'Amato. Bowie Fischer, who worked with Bernard Hopkins early in his career. And James Toney's trainer, his original trainer from Michigan. Forgive me, I forget his name right now. Time for a little commercial break here.
We offer the best grooming products for you. Guests are natural and handcrafted too. We wanna help be your swagger, your style, class, and luxury. We make our products tailor-made for you with high quality. Yeah. So get in style with the black, yeah. Company, to give you swagger, style, class, and luxury. In luxury, yeah. The black gentleman, yeah. Company, give you swagger, style, class, and luxury. In luxury, yeah.
Located at www.theblackgent.com.
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a Focus Ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a Focus Ball. When you train with the Focus Ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit, making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the Focus Ball now.
Yeah. And just like that, it's time for this show to be over. But I want to say salute to the brothers NBA, D Nice, and the War Report out there. My man, the Odd Fella, came into the building. Appreciate you guys stopping in. If you didn't catch me from earlier, please go back and check out the replay. We talked about some good things this evening. I've been off the airwaves for about a week and decided to come back tonight and talk a little bit about Brawn and Brawn in the sport of boxing. Huh? Yeah. And if I'm up for it, I'll probably be back tomorrow for a Friday night chop session. Not making no promises, but hey, it is what it is, But I appreciate everybody that came out here tonight. Going into Friday, hope that you're prepared for a good weekend ahead. There are some boxing cards that are starting tomorrow evening on into Saturday. So we still got boxing on the horizon. So with that being said, I'm going to get ready to get on up out of here and say, shout out to the mighty LDBC. I hope that you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll be back to see you soon. Peace to everybody. Have a great night.